Hi church, thanks again for joining us today for our Fight for Faith video series. I'm in the backyard here, so you're going to perhaps hear hooting and hollering, and there's going to be wind and kids yelling, so let's just do it. But hopefully it's a different setting for us all. I want to continue in our character studies of men and women throughout the Bible who we could see as examples of maybe great failures that they've experienced and great victories and successes they had, and really how it just continues to help us through our lives even now. Amazing how practical our Bible is. We're going to be looking at an incredible woman of faith and of following, obedience and courage, and that woman today is Ruth. You know, we know a lot about Ruth, but one of the statements that we often turn to is her statement about following. She said, "Wherever you go, Naomi, I will follow. Your God, Naomi, will be my God now." Tremendous act of obedience to Naomi. And really, we find out this story of Ruth. She is someone who becomes an alien, an immigrant to her situation. She marries into a Jewish family as a Moabite woman. And during the course of time, this Jewish family goes to Moab, back to where she's from. And they return there because of famine. There's this openness during the book of Judges, the time of the Judges, for these two countries to be peaceful. And this is where we find the story. And we have the tragedy of them losing their spouses. So they're left alone. At Ruth's urging, she says, "I want to stay with you, Naomi. I'll take care of you." And she does. So the first act of obedience, again, is following her mother-in-law. She really doesn't have to. She should just stay, go with her people, if you will. And she says, "No, I want to do this." The second thing we see is her act of gleaning. Many of us know what gleaning is. It's this time when the harvesters will come through an open area and take the bulk of the harvest. Yet there was lots left over, and that's where they would leave that for those maybe disadvantaged or poor. Here's where Ruth comes into play again. She urges her mother-in-law, "Hey, I can go and take care of us. I'm going to run to these opportunities." And Naomi says, "Okay," and she does that. Can you imagine her running around as a immigrant, single woman? What kind of courage that would take for her to do that. And we see her run to that experience tremendously. And the other thing she does is, in the midst of this, we have Boaz coming into the scene, right? Boaz is the landowner. And he points out Ruth and says, "What's this single woman doing here in my field?" And they explain it to her, and he goes, "Oh, I already know who she is." Whoa. I already know who she is. Her reputation preceded her. That's an amazing thing, folks. We have reputations that we're building, right? Maybe our reputation is really good. Maybe our reputation is being built in not such a good way. Here we have the example of Ruth's reputation was good. Here's what Boaz says about that. He says, "It just so happens that I've heard about you. I've been told of what you've done for Naomi, and that you have left everything to follow her. May the Lord repay you for what you have done, and may he richly reward you." Wow, fantastic reputation of Ruth. That's the second thing we hear. And lastly, we see an incredibly honorable woman. This same Boaz became her kinsman redeemer, and we don't have time to get into what that looks like, but he was interested in Ruth. You know, I think at this point Ruth could have been desperate. She had a lot of things not going for her, and to be having somebody interested in her, maybe she could win his favor, curry his favor, or even seduce him into marriage or whatever it may be to gain favor. But she did not. She was a woman of character first. We know in the story that Boaz does marry her and bring Naomi into the fold as well. So she gets the full thing because of her obedience. Here's the incredible verse that talks about Ruth as it ends. Ruth was told to be better to Naomi than 7 sons could ever be. The perfect number in the Jewish family, 7. Again, just her reputation goes before her and curries favor all around her. Ruth, as we end, would become the great-great-grandmother of King David. Incredible legacy, and again, would become great-great-great-great-grandmother of Jesus as well. Thanks for watching as we continue in our character series. I hope you liked it. Continue to give us feedback. We really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.